Hello, good morning to all of you present over here. This is Suraj Power speaking. I'm present over there here. The Task-04 which is provided, which is given by the Spark Foundation, the Data Science and Business Analytics intern. So here the Task-04 which is having the topic that explore the data analysis, terrorism on the global terrorism. So we have to just perform the exploratory data analysis. So here we have to go through first of all. We have to first of all import the libraries. So like Panda, NumPy, Matplotlib, Sequence with Matplot and Sequence, which is used for visualizations and all. Then we have to just read the file in the form by using the read underscore CSV format over there. So we have to just pass our data, whatever the data which is present in the CSV file, we have to just transfer to the df is our data frame which is represent. So we have to head, so he have to just given the kind of simple formatting which is having present number of fields and all those things which is present over here. Then after that we have to just shape of the data, we have to df.shape. Then type of the data, we have to like pandas.core frame. Then at df.header, number of headers means top 5 headers which is came from first row. Then they have the last row from that tail which is came. Then we have to just find df.correlation. We have to just justify it. Then we have to find the number of means name of that particular on that data set, number of columns names which is represents, so df.column which is came. Then after it we have to find like from that data frame we have to find the main value, find the max value. Then if we have to find like between from that, so for that we are using ilog function over there. So ilog like 8 add 8 slicing with respect to 2 and 8, so from 2 to like 7 because last it 8, so that's why. Then after that, and unique means number of unique fields which is present over there. Then describe means it's about total the static information about the count, mean, medians. Then 25%, 50, 75 max percent over there. After that we have the df.info which is contained the number of all the information, what the data type, what the storage of that particular data, see whatever the data we have to just find. Then the range index, the columns and all these entities we have to represent to check whether it's having the null values or not. Like so there are 0 null values, but there are approx data, there is this number of nulls value which is present and 1 so we have to just remove it. So we have to just go through that. Then duplicate, so is there any duplicate value present or not, so that's why. Then they have the data set we're having name like this is, so we have to convert it, whatever the data names we have to present, so we have to just rename them. So like years, so we have to just rename with years, like that. All these things we have to done. Then after that we have to all this whatever the useful data which is important data which is came required to our analysis, we have to just get bought on that data only, and rest of the data fields or columns we have to just drop it over there. Then we have to find the head, then find the info of that particular data set. Then we have to visualizations of the each means its visualization by using the C1 library. So in that we are using the hue representation of that particular all the regions like there is present over there. Then after that we have to just count that countries with respect to count with respect to having the tag attacks which is having the top 5 have had means top 5 which is came, and least attack in the country name which is come like one attack over there. Then we have the visualizations on the top countries got attacked and having number of attacks. So we have number of attacks and the country representations on the x-axis over there. So here like years 11 start having the high attacks, where India having the low attacks as compared to over there. So we had to conclude that which between this graph representation over there. After that we have to find that having visualizations representation of the regions where mostly terrorism attacks. So we have to find that in Western Europe having the mostly terrorism, which is on that particular region there is attack over there. So with the graph representation like this, that Western Europe, so we have to just conclude that we Western Europe having the high number of attacks which is on that particular region. So there, after that we have to find that city where count of that particular cities where number of attacks. Then after that, from which the top cities, we have to just conclude that the top cities, like 20 top cities, we have to just seize over there, and the number of attacks which is so unknown cities like having most high, and there is having like Madeline's having the low attack cities names which is represent over there. And after that we have to find whether they're having the attack on between the 1970 to 2017. So we have to find the count of that number of attacks on that particular range of that particular year. So like in this we have to represent. So here we have in 1984 having the high number of attacks on that year which is having formed, and then after that it is brown color, then red color represented 1985, and then 1983 representation. So here we have to form, and after that visualization represent the type of attacks which used by that means like there are having bombarding and explosions having the mostly they are using the type of attacks which is the things which is using for the attacks, and the least are like unarmed assassins which is represent over there the type of attacks and all. After that the weapons which is required to support for the types of attack. So here we having explosives having which is represent, and the least which is going with represent on that particular thing. And then after that we have to have weapon supports for the types of attacks. So here we have the targeted types like the peoples which is having targeted, like business having the highest targeted over there, and least by the others are having the least represented. So on that this data we have to just represent in the form of the graphical representations. So the attack, the number of tags and having the targeted from targeted, number of targeted, and the targeted. So business having the more number of and least number of like others over there like this. And after that the visualization based on the having the name of that particular group means the terrorism group, so who are the highly attack over there. So there is unknowns having the highly attack, and least, the least is like that representation is like here we have to see that American Secret Army from the having liberations of America having the least number of attacks which is done over there. Then after that, that's it all about this. Then thank you so much.